Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Red. In between episodes I did a little bit of work, did some preparation work for our next build that we're going to get underway. Like I said, the next few episodes are going to be kind of viewer discretion is advised, because we are going to get into a new mod that we have not touched yet that some people might see as a bit taboo, but it is a very powerful mod, and we're actually going to put together a couple of different mods in order for this mod to work properly, because we're actually after one specific thing from this one mod that will make our lives a lot easier as we get a little bit later in the game and get a different mod started that I really want to get into, but we need to start setting up some infrastructure for that. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and pop in here. There's one thing that I want to make real quick, and that is a travel anchor from Ender.io. Travel anchor is really cool. It's not that hard to make. It's just a little bit of iron, some conduit binder, nothing too extraordinary, and a pulsating crystal. And that's just simply some pulsating iron nuggets around a diamond. Of course, the pulsating iron nuggets we get from the pulsating iron, which of course we get from the smeltery, putting together an ender pearl and a iron ingot, either induction smelter or the alloy smeltery from Ender.io will both work. So let's go ahead and make us a travel anchor. There we go. I did a little bit of work off camera to get stuff prepped, as I said, and we're just going to pop that down right here in this corner. Now the nice thing about these is that you can name these. So we could name this main room if we wanted to. So there we go, that's all set, and we hop out, and there we go. Now some of you may be wondering, well, what does that do? Well, I've already made one of these before off camera to a new area that we're going to be working in. So if we come over here and we start looking around, I know it's right over there. Yes, we are getting into blood magic, and if we step off the travel anchor, we'll see that it goes away. If we go back, it shows up. All we have to do is point and jump, and we are instantly teleported to our magical blood magic room. How about them apples, huh? So we're going to be doing quite a bit of work in here. I have this all set up for what we're going to need, the size we're going to need, and everything. So right now it does not look the best. I will give you guys that, but trust me, by the time we're said and done, we'll get this all cleaned up and we will make it look presentable. How about that? I also ran some conduit out here, some of the glass fiber cable, made another crafting terminal, just so that way we don't have to be running back and forth grabbing items that we need to build. So what are we going to need to get started? Well, we are first off going to need an altar. So let's go ahead and take a look at blood magic here real quick. And as we can see, there are a lot of things that we can make in blood magic, but first things first, we have to have an altar. So let's see what it takes to make a blood altar. Well, it's just a little bit of stone, a furnace, a couple of gold ingots, and a diamond. Well, we can do that, so we'll make ourselves our furnace, and get an achievement we should have got ages ago, but that's okay. And there we go, we have one blood altar. Awesome. You may be thinking to yourselves, well, Red, where does that go? Well, technically you can set it up anywhere. We could set it up right here, and we could work from right here. The thing is with blood magic is it works in tiers, and so the higher the tier you want to go with blood magic, the larger your overall altar has to be. That's what all of this limestone is set up around here for. This will take us all the way up when we fill this limestone in with ruins. This will take us all the way up to a tier 5. Now there is a tier 6 which we may or may not touch on in this series. We'll just have to see how the series goes. But for right now we're going to take it up to at least a tier 4 and possibly up to a tier 5. So For starters, we're just going to pop our altar down right here at the very peak of our little pyramid that we have going on. Now what we can also do is we can hop down here now, and that piece of dirt there was just there so I could easily access or lay down the blood altar. And later on, I'm sure we will probably be accessing the bottom of it because there are some automated things that we can do with the blood altar. So, how do we get blood into our blood altar? Well, just like you would get blood from any other object, you have to make a knife. Or in some cases it will be called a sacrificial orb. But it's very easy made, just a little bit of glass, piece of gold, piece of iron. There we go, we get our sacrificial knife. And we did our achievement for our first prick. So now we can come up here to the altar, and if we right click with the dagger or sacrificial knife in our hands, we can see that it takes away 1 full heart of our health. But look at that, we start filling up the blood altar. Well, that's cool. You know, we can just sit here and completely fill up the blood altar. The problem is that yes, you can kill yourself with this if you take away all of your hearts. It's not like it will automatically stop you at 1 heart or half a heart. If you only have 1 heart and you go to add more blood to your blood altar, it will kill you. So we can sit here and, you know, keep our hunger going up and, you know, keep that up to par and everything, and sit here and wait and wait and wait for our health to regen. But that's slow, that's painful, and that's going to take forever, especially if we want to get up to a tier 2 or tier 3 or tier 4, anything higher than just this standard tier 1. So, what can we do to speed this up? Well, if we take a look here, we can be a little cheesy about something. We come into functional, and we look, we've got a bunch of flowers that we can play with. One that we have not touched yet is this Fallen Canade. Let's take a look at it. The Fallen Canade is a flower with angelic properties. It'll use mana from nearby mana pools in order to apply a regeneration effect to any players nearby. Well, shoot. Heck yes, please. That'll make this go a lot quicker. So we've got a little bit of dirt here. Let's go ahead and set this up real quick. Now the nice thing about the altar is it does not matter what's inside the altar. As long as the limestone here is replaced by ruins and down there, it doesn't matter. So this little piece of dirt here isn't going to affect anything. In fact, we could even throw another piece of dirt right next to it here as well if we wanted to, and again, it'll be just fine. In fact, by the time everything's said and done, we'll probably get some nice, you know, sets of stairs leading up to the altar so we don't have to worry about falling or anything like that. So let's go back over here to our main room, just a quick jump, and let's see what we can do about making this magical flower that will give us regen, so we don't have to sit here and wait and wait and wait for our health to regenerate. Well, I've taken the liberty to go ahead and start setting all of this up off camera. So, of course, you know, we've seen how to make a lot of these petals in the past before, so it's nothing new. We've got, of course, our seeds that we need. We've got 1 mystical white petal. We've got 2 white mana petals, which again is just a mystical petal thrown into a mana pool to make the mana petals, and 1 orange, 1 brown, and 1 yellow. We also have one of these runes of spring. Now the rune of spring was not very hard to make, just had to make a rune of water, which was, you know, again 3 mana steel ingots, a fishing rod, a piece of sugar cane, a piece of bone meal on the runic altar there. And then to make the actual rune of spring, I just took the 1 rune of water that I made, 1 rune of fire that we had left over, any 3 saplings, and a piece of wheat. Again, on the runic altar, that's how I got the rune of spring. So not very hard at all. So let's come over to our petal apothecary here, and we will just start dumping all of these petals in, and our ruin, and our seeds, and there we go. There is our fallen Canad. It's still up in the air on how you want to pronounce that. We will refill our apothecary here. And I made another mana pool, and I made one more mana tablet, filled them up, so that we have plenty of mana on us. So let's come back over here. We will jump back over to our blood magic, and we can come right up here. And let's set down our mana pool there, and make sure that we have our wand on us. There we go. And make sure that this is set to accept mode. There we go. And that should be it for those. Go ahead and resort our inventory back here. There we go. And we can just go ahead and drop the mana tablet on top, and it will start filling up this mana pool. Now, I could, if I wanted to, you know, just keep a constant flow of mana over here, but to tell you the truth, we are not going to be using our own blood for this for very long. We are going to get up to a higher tier fast, quick, and in a hurry, and we will be utilizing something else that's definitely a lot better than our own blood, and something that will work a lot quicker. So while these fill up here, there we go, we're all set. They should be completely empty. Well, not quite. Let's drop him back down. 2 mana tablets will hold 1 full mana pool, which is very nice. There we go. I'll pick up our mana tablet. Excellent. And we can just go ahead and put these away in our bag for now. And let's put down our fallen Canad. There we go. And look at that, regen 3. So now we can sit here and just quickly regenerate our health and fill up this altar. How cool is that? So, we're going to sit here and fill this up. Now, it holds approximately 2,000 millibuckets. I'm sorry, 10,000 millibuckets of life essence, as they like to call it. And we get, for every time, we're up to 7,600. Let's do it once. We're up to 78. So we get about 200 millibuckets every time we do this. So there's 9,400. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there we go. There is our full 10,000. Well, what can we do with this? Well, let's go ahead and save mana. So we'll just break our fallen Canad here. Now let's come down here. And everything with blood magic revolves around stone. So let's go ahead and see what we have for stone in here. Oh, we've got 1,400 stone. We can easily do that. And let's also get, because not everything can be done on a crafting terminal like this. We're just going to go ahead and get ourselves a Tinker's Construct crafting station. And we'll also make ourselves a chest or 4, because we're going to automate this as soon as possible. So, the first thing that I think we're going to want is probably some way to tell what is in our altar and how much we've got in there. Granted, we have the mod I'm looking at blood, which, you know, tells us, but it doesn't tell us how much essence we have on our own. We're also going to need a weak blood orb, which is used for crafting recipes later on, such as blood runes. So, let's actually, first things first, let's get ourselves a diamond and make ourselves the weak blood orb. Just that, so that way we can start crafting. So we come down here, we grab ourselves a diamond. There we go. And we come up here, and all we have to do is right click. And as you can see, that's quickly going to start draining out the life essence inside the altar, and it is infusing with that diamond. In the meantime, we can go ahead and say put a piece of dirt there for the moment, and we will put that there, and let's go ahead and put our crafting station. I don't like that. Let's put our crafting station, say, right there. That way we can still access it. Get rid of that dirt. As you can see, it's kind of a long process. There are ways to speed it up, but there we go, it's done. It used up 2,000, and we can take it out. The other key thing to remember with blood magic is that you must right-click absolutely everything and anything that you make, because that is the only way to bind it to you. Because if we take a look, all that it says is that it stores raw life essence and nothing else. So we cannot use this until we bind it to ourselves, because we need to use our own life essence in order to craft stuff. So we give it one click, it's going to take us down one heart. That was one right click. And as we can see, current owner Spanky1044 is back. That's my Minecraft name that I set up a long time ago that I can't change, but that is also me, Irish Red. So we've got that now. How awesome is that? So what can we do with that? Well, we can easily put it back in here, and all of the blood that is, or life essence that is in this altar is getting sucked up by our orb. Kind of neat. So that is storing more life essence to our life pool, if you will. Well, what else can we do? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the divination sigil. Well, that's going to take some glass, which we can easily do. It's going to take an orb of at least a weak blood orb and a blank slate. Well, what are these blank slates? Well, quite simply, they are a piece of stone put into the altar with 1,000 life points. Well, we can do that. Let's go ahead and grab a stone here, right click it in, and after 1,000 LP is sucked up by the stone, there we go, we have one blank slate. Nice. So, now we can come down here. Let's go something like that, and we want our divination sigil, which is right there, which is just some glass with an orb and a blank slate. Let's pull that out. We can go like that, and voila, we have our divination sigil. Make sure that you pull your blood orb back out, because you will need that later on. So we right click it, and as we can see, we have 854 LP in our network. And if we right click the altar, we can see that currently its capacity is a tier 1, or the current altar state is a tier 1 altar with a capacity of 10,000 LP, and it is currently holding 6,346 LP. Well, how do we get more LP? Of course, we use the dagger, the sacrificial knife there, and now we can see we're up to 6546. So, that's very nice. Plus, we also have this nice little counter up in the corner here, if I come back out of the menu, and we can see exactly how much LP we have in our soul network, visually represented. Now, we can sit here if we want, and we can just directly put LP into our soul network by right-clicking the orb in our hand. As we can see, now we're up to about halfway on the bar up there on the left, and we have 2,654 LP in our soul network. So how cool is that? So let's go ahead and place down our flour again. Grab something to munch on, because we are going to work towards getting even more stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look here and get our altar back up full. About 2 more. There we go. It's full. And also keep in mind, guys, that while you're filling your altar, try not to go above. You know, if the altar can only hold 10,000, it can only hold 10,000. So if you're at 9,999 and you right-click the sacrificial knife to put that extra 1 LP in there, it will put that 1 LP in there. However, the other 1,999 LP that you also took from yourself, I'm sorry, 199 LP. Now, my math is way off today. I apologize about that. But the other 199 LP that should have gone into the altar just gets sucked into the void and disappears. So, just keep that in mind, that if you overfill the altar, you're just wasting your own life essence. So, what can we do with this? Well, we can sit here and we can, take, 10 of these, because it's 1,000 to 1. And we right click and we can put them in one at a time. Well, that's boring. That's tedious. It's going to take forever. Let's automate it. So, to automate it, what we are going to do is we are just going to take, say, another piece of dirt here, and we will plop it down right there. Let's get a chest. We'll put it on this side. So now we have 2 chests here. So let's come down here and grab ourselves a transfer node. We should have a couple of those lying around. Yeah, we sure do. Cool. We're also going to make ourselves a couple of basic filters. So there we go. There's an item filter. Let's make about 2 of these for starters. Excellent. And we will come back up here. And let's go ahead and place 1 there and 1 there. That is probably the most basic automation that you can get for this altar. Plain and simple, easy peasy, right? So what are we going to do with these filters? Well, we'll take one of these filters, we'll open it up, and we will tell it only to pull out blank slates. Because if we come over here and we take a piece of stone and we drop it in there, it'll pull it out, put it in the altar, and immediately pull it back out and stick it over there. Oh, that's not very productive. So what we can do is we can open up the interface of the transfer node here, and we can put the blank slate filter inside. The other filter, no, we're not going to drop the chest. Pick that back up. Come on. There you go. Let's go ahead and put our, not our flour, our other filter. There we go. In there for safekeeping, and we can put our blood orb in there as well for safekeeping. So now with that filter, we can take, say, 10 pieces of stone. We'll double check our altar and see that we're running low. So we will 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because remember, we get 200 per click. So 5 times 2 is 10. And there we go. We're back up to full altar again. Let's see what happens if we put 10 stone in here. Now, the transfer node has pulled out all of the stone and it has put it into our altar. Notice how it's not going anywhere. Well, that's because we have the filter here saying that you can only pull out blank slates. So, as soon as these are done converting over to blank slates, we should see that the transfer node will suck them out and put them into the chest here. And we can help speed this up just a little bit if we go into our magic bag here. Let's grab ourselves a Torturino. There we go, and we can set this down. 5x5. Let's go up to 400. And look how fast that's going now. It all depends on tick rate. So there we go, blank slates, and now they're gone. There's no more LP in our altar. The slates all got moved over here, and now we've got 11 of them. How cool is that? So we can place that back down now, and we can start working on filling our altar back up. There we go, up to 3,000 now. So, in between episodes here, what I will probably do is I will sit here and I will continue to go through all of this and fill up the altar and not make you guys have to sit through it. I will be also using some of these blank slates. If we come in here to our blood magic, to make some of these runes. Now the blood runes are just some stone, a couple of blank slates, and some sort of orb. Well, we can make a couple of them now. So let's go like that. We will grab our orb, throw that in there like that. Grab some stone, and there we go. But we don't quite have enough yet. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more LP in here. Now you don't have to stand here and fill this up and then empty it out and everything else. You can, if you want to, fill it up, and as stuff is crafting, you can continue to put essence into it. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, as you can see, you know, it's not going down as fast as it once was. There we go. And see, now it pulled those out, and we still have 4,000 left in the altar, even though it was crafting at the same time. So you can do that. You can keep it stocked. Just keep in mind to watch your health while you're doing that. The downside, though, also is that if you don't have enough LP. So let's go ahead and we will grab 5 pieces here of stone, knowing that we only have enough for 4. Let's put 5 in there and see what happens. It's going to quickly start sucking out, and there we go. Now we start getting particle effects if they're turned on. Let's take a look here. There we go, all particle effects done and done. Back to the game. And as you can see, we have this particle effect going on. There is not enough blood or life essence inside the altar to complete the crafting recipe, and we are actually losing ground. So, if we were to even put 5 in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it still was not enough because we have lost ground. See, even if we put 10, which was 2,000 LP, we lost ground on it. And see, we just cannot keep up. So that is why I usually try to make sure that the altar is completely full and has everything that I need in order to make what I need, so that I don't run into that issue. We've got 1,000 there now. We can make one more. That'll make it a nice even number for us. There we go. There's the particle effects. We've got 11 in here now. Cool. We can just go something like this, and there we go. We've got enough to make 11. Well, to take it up to a tier 2, all we need is 8, because it's this circle right here directly underneath. So let's real quickly grab 1, 2, 3, and we need some more stone. There's 3 more. Come down here and grab even more stone. You go through a ton of stone if you can't already tell. We'll just grab a couple of stacks of stone like that. Come back up here, not waste our flour or our mana, even though we've got pretty much an infinite supply of it. 6, 7, and 8. There we go. We have a few blank slates left over, that's fine. So what can we do with these? Well, these are very simple. We just go ahead and break and replace. Just something like this. That's going to get rid of our Torturino for a moment. That's not a big deal. We can just set that back down here. There we go. Now if we take our Divination Sigil and right click, hey, look at that. We're up to a tier 2. Now it can still only hold 10,000 LP, but at least we're up to a tier 2. Now what I'll also probably do is turn some of these into speed ruins, about 4 of them, which is going to take 1 regular ruin, 2 more blank slates, and stone. Do we have enough to do that? I don't think so. We're missing 2 blank slates. Well, we can do that real quick. Pop our flour down. Grab a bit to eat. There we go. We'll pop 2 pieces of stone in here. Let those get changed over. Let's come down here and grab some sugar. And that was 2, so we need 8 of them. And 8, there we go. And now our stuff should be done, so we can come up here, go like that, go like that, and then we need stone, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let us go ahead. Now these will only do the corners, if I remember my blood magic correctly. Normally I do all 8, but a tier 2 will not utilize all 8 until we upgrade it to a tier 3, which is the next step down there. And then whatever the ruins are up here, it will utilize all 8 of those ruins. But for right now, it will only utilize the corners, if I remember correctly. So let's take a look here. I obviously have something messed up. I do. There we go, and 4 speed runes. So this should speed things up just a touch for us, even faster than with just the Torturino there. And there we go. So there. Now we are up to our tier level 2. And we've got a little bit of a speed boost. So, like I said, in between episodes, I will work on making some more of these blank slates for some of these ruins. The next ruin that I will work on is I will work on making some of these ruins of sacrifice, which is going to take a reinforced slate, which is just a blank slate in a tier 2 altar, which will give us 1 with 2000 LP, and I will start getting the stuff that we need to get up to a tier 3. I told you it wasn't going to take us long to get there. So I'll work on getting to a tier 3. I'll probably also make a apprentice blood orb, which is an emerald inside the blood altar with 5,000 LP. Again, that's not going to take much of anything. So I will probably do that off camera. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, guys, this has been Irish Red. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up to date with the newest episodes that are coming out. You may start seeing more Minecraft coming out because my other series may or may not have some issues with some things that happened between the modification community and the company who made the other series that I am playing right now, the Grand Theft Auto LSPDFR series. For more information about that, you can definitely go check out the forums at lspdfr.com. They will have all of that information there. It's been a big hoopla going on, so there may or may not be more Minecraft in the future, depending on what happens with that series. It's just going to be kind of a waiting game. I'm also looking at possibly starting up another pack, maybe something a little bit different than just a not necessarily a let's play or a modded, but a more themed pack instead of just a bunch of mods put together. I don't know, let me know in the comments what you would like to see. And until the next time, guys, take care, and I will talk to you later. See ya.